Hi, Toby. I know I put this off for a couple of days, but I figured it was time to just do it. Your question was, what would my 20-minute talk be about? And I've thought about it and I've thought about it, and I think it would have something to do with being a stay-at-home mom and raising my kids, and pointing out the fact that so many other people, um, they kind of use excuses, saying, but I have to work, I have to work. And maybe I should back up a little bit. When I was 24, I was pregnant with twins, and I lost one in utero at 39 weeks. And that was one of the most devastating moments of my life. My surviving twin, Alex, you know, the one that's got the big blonde poofy wig thing on my icon picture? Well, he was the surviving twin. And out of absolute financial necessity, I worked for the first year of his life. And it was hard on me every single day to leave that baby with somebody else to raise, because I didn't have him to have somebody else raise him. So I had been working a temp job, and I went to pick him up one day from the babysitter. Well, see, I just skipped ahead of myself again. I was working a temp job, and the key word there is temp. And I was told, this is the last day we need you, which, I knew the end was coming close, and so I was fine with that. And I went to pick him up from daycare, and Alex had a big burn up the middle of his thumb. And the daycare person said, no, you brought him here that way. And I said, I would have known if my 11-month-old baby had a burn up his thumb. I'd dress him, bathe him, everything else. I would have spotted that. Well, then later on, her daughter admitted that she had left the iron turned on in her bedroom, and Alex got to it. So I told my husband that day, I said, either you are staying home with our child to raise him, or I am, and you can choose. I said, I don't mind working. I don't mind you working, but one of us is going to be around to raise this child. That's why we brought him into this world. So he told me, you go ahead and stay home. I'll work, and we'll make it work somehow. So, fast forward, Alex is now 17 and a half. And somehow, even though we live in one of the most expensive areas in the country, we've always made it on that one main income. Times always haven't been good, but we've made it on the one income. And, so many people around me, no, I have to work, I have to work, I have to work just to get by. It's like, no, you have to get by to have the biggest house on the block. You have to get by to have 2 cars that require payments every month. You have to get by to have the extra controllers for the Wii game that you bought. You have to have the extra HBO and Showtime and everything else on your cable system. That's what so many of my friends are working for, is to have all of these extras. And I knew, early on that I needed to be around to raise a good person. In 100 years, will it matter that they had the biggest house on the block, or the 2 cars that took car payments every month, or the extra Wii controllers, or the extra cable channels, or all those ors? No, but in 100 years, will it matter what kind of person you raised? Yes, because that's the person that's going to raise your future generations of people. So in my mind, I would rather have, the 1999 van instead of the 2008 van, and have a good person or 2 good people that I've brought into this world. They mean so much more than any extra cable channel or fancy cars or anything like that. Anything that money can buy, they are 1,000 times, 1 billion times more important to me than any of that other stuff, because all that stuff, but they're people and they're our future. So yeah, I might have given up a career and everything else, but I'm here to raise them, to be home when they come home from school and need help with algebra or geometry or government, or whatever they're doing, or I'm able to be there to go to their baseball games in the afternoon, and I'm able to be there when they want to sit and talk, because yeah, I've got kids that'll sit and talk to me. And so many of my friends that put their kids in daycare from day one barely know their kids at this point. They see them an hour at night, and that's in between dinner and bath time, maybe, if they're lucky. So and I know staying at home is not for everybody. It's really not, but God, if you can do it and help raise a really good future generation to be there to support us and to support our grandchildren, then do it. Whatever you can do. If it means trading in, the $30,000 Volvo for the $10,000 station wagon, do it. Do what you have to do to help raise our future generations by staying home and not having the kids that are out wandering around in the afternoons that you don't know where they are, what they're doing. I have to bite my tongue. I was about to say something that I can't say right now, but if you can stay home and raise your kids, or your spouse can stay home and raise your kids and be there for them, do it. Do it, do it, do it. Most people look back and say, hindsight is 20/20, and they usually say that on mainly when bad decisions that you've made. But for me, looking back and hindsight is 20/20, I think staying home with my kids was the single best decision I've ever made in my entire life. Period. I've got 2 young men that I'm very proud of, and I'm proud of myself for making the sacrifices that I had to make to raise them to be who they are. So, Toby, there you go. That's my 20-minute chat in about 6.5 minutes. Hope it's what you were looking for. If not, that's it. Bye.